Hello and welcome into what I guess I'll call Footium with Laird. I'm Andrew Laird, proud owner, of Molten Zon. I don't think we're an FC. I don't know. Maybe we'll call it FC as Footium Club, but that's what we're here to talk about today. A little Footium. Thanks everyone for coming in. This is my first solo Footium stream, and a lot of it is just because I'm going to victory lap a little bit, which once we get into it, you'll realize how absurd it is that I'm doing this. However, I'm going to do it anyway. Appreciate everyone in. Chris, Stefan, Fraxy, the GOAT, Harry Trades, David Taylor, what's up? I almost called you Daler. So I have been playing Footium for the last 2 seasons, and I'll get all the disclaimers out of the way immediately. Footium gave me my club. I didn't buy it, so I actually have no idea how much clubs cost. And they gave me a bunch of players, and part of this was, essentially it was the beginning of I don't want to call it like an affiliate deal, but that's kind of how it started. When I left So Rare Data, I had a few different either fantasy sports companies or football management games kind of contact me and say, hey, would you be interested in partnering with us? And I knew a few people who played Footium, and including Harry, obviously, and PSU fans too, who the two of them do the Footium strategy show every week. It's usually Mondays. Yesterday, or this week's was yesterday on a Wednesday. But so I was like, yeah, I'll try it out. And kind of as a way to get me started, they gave me a club, and they offered to give me, I think it was 0.005 ETH, if that makes sense. I don't know. ETH's moved around, but they were like, we can give you that and you can go buy players on the market, or we can just kind of assign players to your team. And I remember, I think it was like towards the end of the week before season 6. Did we just finish 5, or did we just finish 7? This proves how up to date I am on things. Hold on, let me check here. What did we just do? We just did season 7. Yeah, so season 6. Apologies. And it was like over the weekend, I was going to be gone for that weekend. And I was like, to be honest, I don't think I'm going to have enough time to go through. That would be great. Anyone that was like way overpowered or anything, but it was kind of a way for me to test out the game. Now, the team that I got, again, Molten Zon, was in Division 8, which is their lowest division right now, and which, I wouldn't have expected anything else. And the experience I had, I think, is a little different than those that play in the higher divisions, but I assume there are more Division 8 leagues than any others because it's the lowest. And so it actually ended up being a really good learning experience for me, because my league, I believe, it has 12 teams, and I think at least 7 of them were zombie teams. And for those of you who are unaware of what zombie teams are, they're basically teams that have either been given up on, and so they have too few players, and so they're filled with the worst possible ones for your matches. Generally, they're easy wins. And when you have a 12-team league where 7 to 8 teams are easy wins, it's a nice way to kind of ease into the game. It doesn't give you the full experience of having to compete at the higher levels, but you're not on the higher levels. And so I liked it as a way to get in. And the whole, I'm not going to do this as like an intro video to Footium for 2 reasons. One, I don't really know what I'm doing. I mean, I know how to play the game and I know what to do, but I'm like the furthest thing from an expert. If you're looking for more expertise, go over to Harry's channel and he'll have it there. But I will say that everyone that's kind of in the Footium community is super helpful. And I had a few people that sent kind of some of their older players to me just so I could get started. And so I competed in Division 8 League 1 last season, and I finished 4th. Here we are, Molten Zon. So 16 wins, and you can kind of see here, it looks like the top 5 are essentially the real teams. And then everyone else, 6 through 12, were zombies. And so last season, Mars High Rangers and Amerwich United, were promoted. Mars High ran away with it. And then I was in it basically until the end of the season. So if you look at my 4 losses, I believe I lost to Mars High and Amerwich twice. Like those were the losses. And I drew to Watton Stanley and I drew to Fleepton, if I remember correctly. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I came up short. And I really wasn't sure what to do for the following season. And shout out to JG Webb here, who actually gave me a few players for last season and maybe for this season as well. I can't remember. But kind of the mechanics of the game require you to make changes every year, particularly because a lot of the players that Footium gave me were either in their final year before retirement or 1 year away, which again, there were free players. So I'm not going to complain about that. And they kind of helped me learn the game. And so we finished 4th last season. Like I said, Mars High and Amerwich got promoted. And from what I could tell for this season, we got another zombie team. And the reason why I'm going to start victory lapping is because I finished 2nd after today's results. I finished the season with a 2-0 win over Somalton Wanderers. Somyalton? I don't know. Anyway, it was a very tight race for 2nd. This Mal Stanley ran away with it, and they were just much better, and so I get it. But as of like 3 games ago, maybe 4, I was sitting 4th and still had to play Watton Stanley here, and I believe Fleepton, and then a couple of zombies. And I actually sent a message to Harry after I drew. Did I draw? I think I drew to a zombie team. I guess we could just look. Let's see here. No, I want my results. Here we go. Or maybe it was there in fixtures. As you can see, I'm still like working my way around. All right. So these are all the zombie teams. Am I going backwards through? Oh yeah. Okay. So because there's so many zombies, you end up getting some fairly like lopsided results here. This is the team that won, Mal Stanley, and just destroyed me 4-0. But I kind of expected to lose. Then I beat a zombie, another zombie 7, and then this Tynemton is a zombie team, I believe. I guess we could just look at their team, but I'm almost certain it is. Yeah, so they, low ratings. Maybe this is a real team. I don't know. But I drew them, and I was like, it's over. I'm not going to be able to get into Division 2. And then I played Watton Stanley and beat them. And I was like, well, that's like, I'm going to get 3rd. It's going to be really disappointing because I'm going to be so close. But then I beat Fleepton Rovers 1-0. And it was like, oh, wow, I might actually be able to get up here. And that's what was kind of funny about it, because I had all but given up. And then these 2 results, I was like, maybe I'm back. And I had 4 straight games of zombies. And all I had to do was win. And I was going to get there. Actually, I take that back. Yes, all I had to do. And then I believe Fleepton and Watton Stanley played each other. Let's see. I think they played each other late. And Watton Stanley, where are they? That's when they beat me. Okay, so Watton Stanley beat Fleepton and then lost to me. And I think that kind of opened everything up. And so I had a match today. Obviously, today's the last day of the season, and won. It was extremely, actually have some of the video. We can even watch it. It was an extremely weird match because I was like, oh, it's a zombie. I had basically put in my top team, but it was still a little scary because I just wasn't sure what to do. Let me see. Does this get me any bigger? Yeah, we'll do it this way. So if you're not familiar with how the Footium game works, this is a live game, right? Well, this was a live game. So the biggest issue that I have for this season, and I'm going to say that there are a couple like issues of the game I have issues with them, and they're completely aware of these issues. I speak to Sam over Footium Sam quite a bit. Here you can see me making a sub because my center mids were a little tired. But all of the issues that I have been brought up, and they know about them anyway, and they're working on it. And so I actually have some pretty good confidence that they. I was about to say that they know what they're doing. They obviously know what they're doing, but they understand kind of the fallbacks of the game currently. And so I'm not going to like harp on them that much. But the issue that I have that I will bring up is that all of my matches are on at 7:00 in the morning, which is actually not that bad of a time for me in life. I wake up early. The problem is that real life gets in the way because literally from 7 to 8:00 in the morning is when I'm getting my 3 kids up, awake, dressed, and off to school. And so it's very difficult for me to experience the live games in a way that I can manage them appropriately. Now, obviously, you can make live changes in the game. You saw I made that sub there. I didn't change any tactics, but I wasn't really going to go too crazy with the against a zombie, even though like I'm sweating a little bit here, like 74 minutes in and I'm up 1-0, scored in the 36th minute, but nothing too like overly confident boosting about it. But so that's kind of one of the issues. And they know this is an issue. Like they literally admitted to me that there are people who have sold teams in certain divisions because of the time that their matches are. And I don't know what the solution is realistically, as long as you have to, have the ability to, or as long as you have the ability to make changes during matches, like the time of the matches matter. And I know there was a suggestion about allowing the home teams to pick the times of matches, which I think makes sense, I guess. I don't know how far they're going into it. Admittedly, I haven't been overly active in the community, mostly because, like I said, I don't know how far I'm going in the game. Like I have players now. I did mint a number of my academy players last season. I'll get into that in a little bit. But you can see here, I just scrolled down because the team that was in second, or excuse me, the team that was in third was also playing a zombie, and they would have passed me into second if they won and I lost, or actually if they won and I drew, I believe. You can check the table in a second. But so I kept checking them. They actually went down 1-0 to the zombie, tied it, and then I think right there it said 2-2, which is nuts. Like I can't imagine what craziness that person must have been experiencing. And who knows if it was 7 a.m. their time, could have been 4 a.m. for all I know. But anyway, so that's been one of the things. Like I would have live streamed this if it wasn't 7:00 in the morning. Like I'm live streaming now 3.5 hours or 3 hours after the game ended. And so I obviously know what happened. I already showed you because I ended up finishing second. And essentially what I now have to do is look at all of the players that I have. And I'm pretty much going to let this play until like I'll ramble on for another 8-ish minutes before we dive into more of this. And there's Begovic getting his second goal of the day to all but seal the deal for Malton's on here. But the way that that I'm going to have to, or the way that I was looking at the game kind of at the beginning of the season was I'll mint my academy guys. Now, Division 8 academy guys are never good. Like they may be able to have good, you'll be able to grow them, to train them over the seasons and everything, but it doesn't feel like they'll ever be good enough to really play anywhere but Division 8. And I know that's a bit harsh because there are probably teams in Division 7 that might be, low. And so maybe you can compete in them, but it feels like, at least where the way that I was looking at it was, I'll just get my academy players and I'll develop them well while I move up. And not to say that I'm going to move up every season, but like moving up into Division 7, I don't know if these players are even good enough to keep me there. If you can see here, hold on, I scrolled down and you can see at the bottom. Did I scroll here? There we go. You can see Stone Twick is dead last in my league, I believe, and Watt and Stanley were third at the time, and now they're down in the 86th minute. That's what I was checking. Anyway, so the idea was like, all right, I'll get my academy guys and I'll train them and I'll play them enough so that I can keep training them. I'll get their rating up, and the process is so long that it's almost like the idea to eventually have like all my players be academy players is impossible. And I feel like that's reasonably impossible, but it was also a bit of a disappointment that it was like, all right, I am going to have to go out to the market and buy more players. And, when in real life, we'll say, when teams get promoted, they go spend a little more money in order to strengthen their teams. And they do that because the prize money is higher there. And so I know that there are issues with prize money higher up in terms of like finishing higher in a lower division versus mid-table in a higher division. And that's something that they're working on. Sean, PSU fans too, loves to harp on that. So here's the full-time Malton's on win, get in. Anyway, so and they'll they're trying to figure out how to work that. But basically the way that I'm looking at it now, as now I'm getting promoted, a lot of the players I have just aren't good enough. And just rating wise, you can see, like my goalkeeper is a 54, which is quite good for divisions, certainly good enough for Division 8, probably good enough for Division 7, but he's retiring, which is a bummer. And so I do have like a couple players, and I'm sort of developing them. And as you can see, I didn't train these guys well enough. I ended up playing them more than anything else. Like Dwyer was one of my better players, and so I didn't train him. I will also say I have used 0 spreadsheets to go through this process, which I know is probably the worst way to do it. But I don't equate spreadsheets with fun, and I'm trying to make this experience as fun as possible. And so we're going pure vibes, and yeah, that's it. So among the 28 players that I have currently, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are retiring. And so these are players that, some I used fairly regularly, some I didn't. And so, it's not the end of the world, but I am going to have to basically redo my entire team over the course of the next few seasons, which I think everybody has to do. And it's just not something that that I was like prepared to do yet. But, for the next few seasons, I'll be able to get, these guys out. And then these were the academy products that I did. So the 3 19-year-olds, I think, were the ones that I did last season coming out of season 6. And then these were the ones coming into season 7. And like I said, like I'm attempting to develop them. I ended up playing like Matos a lot this year. So I didn't end up training him that much. Which was a bit of a disappointment because I just don't think any of these guys are good enough for Division 7 Division 7. And so I'm going to try to convince my good friend Harry Trades to have me on one of his streams, maybe with PSU fans too, to talk about what I have to do for the upcoming season, because the transfer window, the window is obviously going to be open soon, the off season, excuse me. And we'll see where we go. And so Hoodwink, I didn't mean to ignore this, but I kind of went on a thing here. Hoodwink said Mars and Amerwich are top 2 in my league. Does that mean you'll be in my league next season? I think so. I genuinely think so. And the reason why, and I was talking to Harry about this, like I'm in League 1. And so mathematically, I think the only place I can go is to League 1, and meaning League 1 in Division 7. And so when I was looking at Hoodwink, which team is yours? When I was looking at this league, and sorry, let me move. I'm going to move over to the other side here so you can see the full table here. Maybe Hoodwink can tell me like which teams are zombies, but it does seem like at least these are zombies. I haven't like clicked into them, And I really hope Hoodwink's not like, oh yeah, Bart Villa are my team. But yeah, so the two teams that won my league last year won this league as well. And let's see what their like ratings are. So they've got a few, like mostly just, well, it's all bronze. And as you saw my team earlier, I have like 4 bronze players. So maybe Amerwich were kind of like overpowered for Division 8. I didn't see what kind of changes they made. Mars High, let's see. They're mostly bronze and a couple commons. But like my team is like almost exclusively commons. I got 4 bronze players. So I'm obviously going to have to make some serious purchases over the course of the season. And the disappointing thing for me is what I would really like is to get guys from. So let me go back for a second. What I really wanted to do was just work all on through academy players, not necessarily my academy players. I mean, I would love it if it were my own academy players, but the ones that I didn't even mint, like these guys are not ever going to be good enough for. Sorry, I'm going to switch over again. Like these guys will never be good enough for any division above Division 8. And that doesn't mean you have to mint all of them, but like this Tomislav Bozic, 16, Jao Maduero, I don't know. Also 16, but like caps out at 45. And 45 is like just good enough for Division 8. Division 7. And it'll take me so long to get him there that hopefully I'm out of Division 7 by that time. And I know that it's like not that easy to just get promoted and everything without spending more money. But so then my other idea was maybe I can try to get some academy players from higher up, get some Division 5 or 6 academy players that maybe some people don't want, bring them into my team and just develop them. And because I would kind of love the idea of just having a bunch of younger players and just kind of picking off higher division academy players, because I do like the idea of training these guys up. And once I figure out kind of the ideal training versus playing situation, along with not doing it through a spreadsheet, trying to see here, so Gad was the only one I got. Oh no, Gad and Matsuo. Oh, and Musa. Yeah, I basically just missed all of these guys training once because I ended up playing them too much. And maybe just my team is not deep enough. 28 players I felt like should be enough. I mean, it was enough to get promoted, obviously, but not enough to get me to actually play consistently in Division 7. And so I'm going to have to start just looking for Footium players on OpenSea. I will say that that I recently changed my SoRare winnings back to ETH. I had taken ETH for a long time and I switched to fiat, and I went back to ETH this past game week, specifically because I was winning $100 in cash. I'm taking that in ETH to use on Footium. I basically, that's the path now. I win cash on SoRare, or I win ETH on SoRare and use that on Footium. I actually can't remember how much I'm going to win. It's not much. I won is it possible I won 0.002 last year? So I'm going to win 0.005. Apparently it's wow, that's a lot of decimals. 0.0052477996371156119. And then last year I won that's not division. Wonder why 6 is not season 6, division 1. Oh, there we go. 0.001. Nope, that wasn't my team. Sorry. I thought I won 0.002. I feel like this isn't loading correctly. Yeah, it's not. All right, whatever. But anyway, I'm winning more, and I'll use that to get more players. But I just kind of really liked the idea of getting higher, getting other people's academy players, and basically trying to make my team as young as possible, specifically so I don't have to consistently go to the market every single season. But it's probably what I'm gonna have to do. The other thing that I spent almost no time doing is figuring out like appropriate formations and teams. I pretty much played a five in the back most of the time because sort of my higher rated players, I had two wing backs, and again, higher rated, they're in the mid 30s. But yeah, I played this Wilson DeCasia right wing back. In the video we saw, you can see that, and then Ishii. But I'm trying to develop a bunch of center mids because everybody needs them. I have a couple center forwards. Actually, he's retiring. Marino here. And so really what I need to do, and I'll probably try to get Harry and maybe Sean to do this work for me, is like look at the positions that I have and the players that I want to build around, and then really figure out what formation makes the most sense, and then basically try to go as deep as possible. Can I sort by? Oh, I can. So like I have four center backs, two of which are retiring. So going to need some center backs, especially if I'm going to continue to play these wing backs because I'll need to start three center backs anyway. I do have a couple. So this Baldini is close to retirement, but this Hamza Musa, I didn't usually play with a DM much, but again, he was one of my academy players. And so I needed him to, he can get up to a 54. Like he's got 20 remaining potential, which is like pretty fun. But again, I need to like figure out ways to get him to play in Division 7 as a 34 rated player, and not get relegated. And so the idea is like, hopefully I can do enough I basically need to do enough to stay there. And I'm not sure that's all I want to do right now, is to stay in Division 7 next season and figure out just how many players I'm going to have to buy. I mean, I didn't necessarily play all of these retiring guys, excuse me. Like this Hussein, what does he play? Left forward. I didn't play attacking forwards that much. But I bought this Francesco Marino at the beginning of the season. Developed him a little bit, but not much. I'm not sure. Can you see like how? Yeah. So, man, 3 goals and 10 appearances. What are we doing? Anyway, but so yeah, that's kind of my next step. I don't know if I'll go through a video of that, because ultimately I'm probably going to have to start a spreadsheet just to at least give me an idea of the players that I have, the formations I can play, and what I need to get. And so I don't know, and I'm happy for anybody to provide any feedback, either here in the live chat or comments on the video, of basically should I get players from other academies? And sorry, my live chat wasn't updating, and I just got like a whole mess of updates here. What time are the Division 7 League One games for you? I actually don't even know. Let's see. Is it easy to see that? Like, can I tell what time this game was? Your team isn't far off. The average rating of teams in D7 League One is 40 to 44. Yeah, so full-time whistle I've never used, which, when you go on vibes, that's it. D7 League One is where you're going. Yeah, that's what I thought. The guys you have are good enough to stay up. If you want to win the league next season, yeah, you'll likely need to go elsewhere for academy lads. Bachman, what's up? Thank you. Bachman, who convinced me to play Footium. It's an interesting balance. A 34 rated will be valuable when put in the right form, right rotation, and indeed 50 rated is useful in D5, even D4. You can make a full academy team in just 10 seasons of planning. You will find in FM is just a challenge to do this. Yeah. JG helping me with D5 and D6 academy players. How do you find buying players on Footium compared to MFL? I mean, it's just different. You obviously need to go through OpenSea, but to be honest, like this is what I'll say about the whole thing about OpenSea and ETH and Footium. it's, and I've shared this feedback with some people at Footium, so this is like nothing new to them. But the process of getting players obviously is like, I mean, I'll show you right now. Like if I wanted to buy, actually, can I? Yeah, buy players, and it like specifically takes you to OpenSea, and then you have to use the OpenSea filters, and then you can just buy them. And I remember the first time I did it, I was just like, I don't really like, is this okay? What am I doing? And I actually leaned on Harry Trades a lot on this because it was just new to me, and it was fairly new to him, but he was kind of like fresh with this knowledge because he's playing Footium for, I don't know if this was his second or third season, but he like walked me through it, and I was expecting it to take like 17 steps, and it takes like 2. And like once you do it, you're just like, oh, this isn't a big deal at all. But just because you have to leave the Footium website to do it, and you need ETH in your wallet in order, like it's all of these extra steps that are kind of, they're not stumbling blocks, but they're just extra steps that you have to do that you don't always have to do on other games. And so but they're easy. Like genuinely, I remember like I got so the players I bought this past offseason, I minted some academy guys, and then this Paul Bouvier I bought, who can get up to a 47, which I think is good enough for the next level. And then I bought the Marino guy who can get up to, where are we? 10 more, 46. I bought those guys on OpenSea, and it was, I was about to say it couldn't have been easier, because it can be, because if you could do it right on Footium, that's easier, but like it was easy, genuinely easy. And I'm somebody who's really uncomfortable when it comes to wallets and crypto and all this. And so it was fine. I will say that, I mean, I guess using, yeah, like I've literally never used full-time whistle, which again is just evidence of how new I am in the game. But I'll need it to like find certain players that I want. You can make sorry, I want to go back to this. You can make a full academy team in just 10 seasons of planning. Bachman, I assume that means like my own players, not like other, well, obviously, because I can buy. And so really what I need to do is figure out if buying academy guys from JG in Division 6 and Division 5 is better than just buying guys directly from Footium who are a little older, and I was about to say more established, as if that matters. Yeah. Palmer said, I had a similar experience. I needed someone to show me the ropes and to also offer the security that OpenSea was okay, as I had no crypto background. Yeah, I mean, I knew about OpenSea anyway, so that's perfectly, like, going to OpenSea was not the issue for me. It was more just like making sure, like, oh, I had ETH in my regular ETH wallet, and I had to move it to or whatever they call it, Arbitrum, sorry. The hell is it called? Arbitrum, yeah. Sorry, I had to look that one up. It was fine. It was fine. And I'm going to have to do it now. And so really what the funny thing about buying players on, like, for Footium is, I'll go on OpenSea and I'll figure out the players that I specifically want. And it's not like there are unlimited number of guys I want. Like if I wanted a center back, a 40 rated center back who can make it up to 50 at some point, and it isn't 28 years old, there really aren't that many of them. In fact, I guess if I could just look at it, let's see. Center backs, let's call it 40 to 50. Actually, let's just call it 40. And age range, like I would ideally like younger ones. And so it's like, I don't know if these are good prices. They seem to be. I don't even know what 0.006 is in dollars. So that's the other thing, is that because of how I've been playing so rare the last few years and how I play like MF, like everything is in dollars for me. And so even though I win, even though I like win in Ethereum and I use Ethereum here, I still like want to translate it into my head. So 0.006 is what, $16. So each of these guys is $16, and I'm going to need to get a couple of them. So I got to figure, like, in the end, am I going to end up spending like $100 now that I'm in Division 7? I think I spent, it was something like $7 for each of my academy players. And then the ones on the market I got, I'll be honest, I can't even remember. And I don't think that there's a easy way for me to see specifically. I mean, there probably is, but I don't know. Oh, that's nice. It tells me that my thing's worth $180. Anyway, sorry, Getafe MFC. Legit question. What about gas fees, moving everything around, assets, money, even just to deposit? The gas fee to the gas fees to mint academy players and to get them from the secondary market here were like close to nothing. I think that was kind of the big advantage of using why do I keep struggling with that word? Arbitrum. Yeah. So the benefit of using Arbitrum is that the gas fees are super low. The only stumbling block ETH had was gas fees. Yeah, because they use this layer 2. I assume it's a layer 2. And that makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. But yeah, everything is very fast and everything is very cheap. Like gas fees are not a stumbling block for me here. Gas fees, even to just like, the most I paid in terms of gas fees were moving my, like, withdrawing from SoRare. And let me see if I can see how much I paid in the gas fee. I paid 9 cents when I withdrew. I withdrew $80 previously, and then I paid a 0.00006 gas fee. So, yeah, this is how I am. Yeah, in the same way as Andy here. I don't think or look at gas because it's so low. Yeah, gas on Arbitrum is 0 or 1 penny. That's hardly a stumbling block for me. Genuine, like I don't even like Andy. I don't even think about it. And so, what I need to think about now is how many players do I have to replace or improve on? Figure out what I'm not going to do this right now because I think that's going to take us down a whole a whole rabbit hole that I will certainly do. But who are my best players? And I look here, it's Dongjun Bang, who it's just a name I absolutely love, who is my highest rated center back, 27 years old. So I only have him for 3 more seasons after this. Excuse me. 4 more seasons, excuse me. Rick Dwyer, who the reason he still has available potential is because I played him almost every game. But he's my strongest center mid. And then Bouvier I bought in the this last offseason. Thought I had a left mid. Oh yeah, so I bought him. I bought Bouvier because I also had this. I had minted this guy, Maya Matsuo, and I was like, if I'm going to play him as a left mid, then I should have a right mid. And so that's why I bought Bouvier. But every other academy player I had, I think, was either a center mid. So Gad was a center forward. Then I had Matos, Sanchez, Akanbi, who were all center mids, and then Musa, who was a defensive mid. And you can see, like, Sanchez, I didn't develop nearly enough this season. I don't know why. Matos too. I think I was kind of lazy on training. That's how it was. And so in Division 7, I need to figure out a better way to get these guys to play in the right spots while also, making sure that I train them to 0 and then play them, or, get them enough. And again, I know that there is a spreadsheet that will tell me exactly how to do this. And I just don't feel like doing that, genuinely. Katave said it might be even cheaper than the withdrawal fees from the Dapper wallet. I assume it is because I know the Dapper withdrawal fees are absurd. So yeah, like that's what I need to do is figure out kind of who I want to build around. I'm going to need a goalkeeper, which is really annoying. I have one who is 34 rated. Oh no, he's retiring too. Well, we're going to be in the market for a goalie. So yeah. For those of you who are in the live chat who play, is it easy for me to search like JG? When you said like you can help me with D5 and D6 Academy players, is there an easier way for me to look at all like unminted Academy players right now? I know that I have like a day left before. Is it? Yeah, is it tomorrow? I can't remember when the deadline is, but like, is there a way for me to see some like all of the Academy unminted Academy players right now, or do I just have to go team by team in Division 5 and reach out to people and say, "Hey, I'd like your Academy players." I also don't know how much a D5 Academy player costs, and I know that somebody, like as you can see here, 0.0037 for a for a Division 8 Academy player, which is as low as you can possibly get. That's $9.86 right now. The run up in ETH lately hasn't helped in terms of comparing it to dollars if they stay the same. But you can see that this is only the 1 day chart. So it was about a month ago. Yeah, like I minted my guys when ETH was around 1,800, and now it's 2,600. Which like everyone who's holding ETH is like, hey, that's awesome. D5 is 0.0157. So that's $40 per player. I'm pretty sure you can on Full-Time Whistle. Oh, of course, Full-Time has it. It does seem like they may have everything, but yeah. So $40, like that. This gets expensive. Andy, what's like the average? We posted ours on Harry's Discord in Academy Boys. Oh, I'm in that. Let's see. So yeah, there's for those of you who are not on Harry Trades' who are not members of his community, frankly, you should. But there is a whole Footium section to it. Let's see. So PSU fans 2 posted all the ones that I would never buy because they're way actually. So like, let me show this average rating of 40. All right. So like these are some of the these are the Academy guys that PSU fans 2 posted. 0.047 makes me feel like they're much higher. But obviously, these are players that like I think are good enough for me now, but because they can be so much better, like I would never buy these guys for myself now. Full-Time Whistle season 7 Academy cohort. Let's go. Season 7. Oh, duh. The huge Academy button. Thank you, brains. So yeah, I mean, theoretically, if I wanted to get, let's see, center backs. And no one currently higher than, let's call it 45. I also don't really want anyone that bad. No asset ID is unminted. Perfect. All right. So like this guy, oh, that's Division 3. That's way higher than I want. Division, let's do 5 and 6 and see what we can get. Not many. Oh, sorry. Why doesn't this go away? Oh, there we go. All right. So Division 5 is 0.0157. Division 6, of which there are 0. Oh, wait. So these are, we'll do this. Here we go. All right. So these are all the guys that theoretically I could get. Or, if I chose to do this. So Mamadou Kouame. I'd guess with 5 and 6, they're so high tier that these unminted are from inactive clubs. Oh, that would be a bummer. But really, like, it feels like what I should be doing is getting these guys, these commons, and just trying to get them up to bronze myself. Is there? Yeah, I guess I just have to hope that I can figure out a way to contact these people. And sorry, what's the cost of a D6 mint? Like if I'm spending $40 per player, I'm not going to want to do this that many times. But again, like that's the benefit of just getting guys who are established, is that I can probably get some cheaper ones. Like these guys seem way cheaper, but obviously they're probably, they're 4 years younger. So we'll see. I don't know. Are there really that many inactive Division 5 and 6 clubs? Brain said you recognize a few. All right, that's cool. I guess really the key is just getting into the Discord and saying, hey, I'd like some academy guys. Who's got them? And I know that there are people, plenty of people who will come out and say, I do, which is cool. Easier to find them in Discord. All right. Yeah. D6 is 0.0113. Did I lose that? Here we go. 113. $30. Yeah. Yeah. I think that was kind of one of the, and I realized like the game isn't set up that way, but it just did feel a little weird to me that like the academy players that you get are unusable in the division you're in, other than Division 8, it feels like, meaning Division 7 academy players. But again, they're not meant to be usable right away. I get it. So we'll see. We'll see what I do, because I'm definitely going to keep playing. Like it's not like I've had a fun enough experience with this that that I will absolutely keep playing. And like I said, my winnings from So Rare, at least my recent ones, are going to Footium. And so really what I have to do is just sit down with my club here and figure out exactly the types of players I want. What I don't want is to just start buying players because they're like, oh, that guy's a good, he's a good price for whatever he is. And just buy them because I need them to make sense. I don't want depth, non-helpful depth. Bachman said, I use Academy immediately in D1. There's a time and place for everything. That's fair. Yeah. I would believe that D1 you could get there. And I'm a long way from D1. So thankfully I don't have to worry about that. Hoodwink, I don't know if Hoodwink answered it before, but I would love to know what time my matches are for next season. Division 7, League 1. And like these two guys, Emmerich and Mars High, will go, I assume, to Division 6, League 1. Let's see what that looks like. I'm pulling this up as if I like recognize any of these names. Yeah, not a thing. But yeah, so next season, Division 7, League 1, this is where I'll be. And 1,600, is that my 1,600, do we think? That seems late for some people, but that's doable for me. $525, is that the next? No, that can't be next season already. Oh, 522. Yeah, that's today. So 4 o'clock. Yeah, that's at 4 o'clock PM is certainly better than 7 a.m. It's actually not that great overall, but it's more doable. And it looks like there's a battle for the title here amongst the two guys. They just ran away with it. Amerwich play Ackleend. I think yours said 10 a.m. You can look at the big chart. Not all D7s are the same. I mean, this is the league that I'm going to be in. So I hope that's it. And then who's the other one? Mars High. Who do they play? Severshbot. Oh, second and third. Wow. So yeah, Amerwich point, and they probably need a win. Goal differential favors Mars High. I wonder how they did against each other. Amerwich and Mars High. Let's see. 0-0. And then let's see. 1-0 Mars High. Wow. Imagine going unbeaten against the team that wins the title. That would be a bummer. Anyway, so yeah, that's the league I'll be in next season, because the mighty Maltonzan finished second this year, 54 points from 22 games. I actually didn't even score that many goals compared to the other ones. It felt like all of these teams, when they played the zombie teams, they would win like 8-0. And I don't think I might have had a 6-0 at one point. But yeah, 88 goals, 86, 81. And I only had 76. But, that's it. That's where, you just got to get the points. And Maltonzan got them. Up the Mexican Irons. I say that because of the logo that we have. Actually, I guess, yeah, there we go. I don't really appreciate that the supporters often haul abuse at the stewards. Maybe the move up to Division 7 will temper everybody. But as you know, historic city with an economy mainly dependent upon tourism, which, I picture this as being some sort of, coastal Mexican town. And yeah, and we're heading to Division 7. So that's all I got. That's, like I said, I shared some of the thoughts that I had. That's not what I was looking for. Sorry. On the game, I think it's a really engaging game. I think there are a few things that can be worked on that I know they're working on, and so it's I guess as simple as that. To sign up, to get your players and all of that. But I will say the community has been super helpful and supportive. And that's me like barely being a part of it, to be honest. I mostly lurk in Harry's Discord, in the Footium part of Harry's Discord. And but the way that everybody kind of competes against each other, Brains obviously was in the league with Harry. Brains, did you win the league today? Harry sent me a message just as I was about to start saying that he was losing his game today and was going to lose the title, or maybe lose promotion. I forget what it was. But he obviously is really enjoying the game, and I mean, plenty of people do. And so I'm playing it probably suboptimally, and I'm okay with that for now. The competitiveness in me can only go so far when I know that the easiest way for me to get better is just to buy much better players. First and second lost on the final day. Oh my goodness. What league are you guys in? I'll just pull it up so I can look at it. I asked Harry for a link to his game and he was like, it's over, and he wouldn't even send it to me. So the Brains, I went from third to first. Wow. That's the way to do it. Sorry, Harry. So yeah, I'm going to keep playing. And the reason why I kind of like wanted to focus on the academy stuff is because I didn't necessarily want the game to just be like, okay, you play, you win your rewards, and then you buy new players again every season. And I know you don't have to do like quite every season. And I was probably on the furthest part of the spectrum because of the players that Footium gave me were obviously on like the older side. Oh my God, Harry. Oh, 47, 47, 46. Oh, I bet Harry's not even going to talk to anybody today. Brains, congrats on your victory up the reg. So this is Division 6. So if I win Division 7, what kind of players do I need to win Division 6? A couple silvers and basically all bronze. Yeah. So my best player is your worst player. But again, you won the league, 35 players. Okay. Yeah, that's me learning. All right, I'll get the spreadsheet out. You got me. I'll do the spreadsheet. Figure out what players I want. And we'll go from there. So yeah, I'm going to try to invite myself onto the strategy show soon since I got stuff to do. Meaning I have players to do. I don't know if that's going to be overly helpful for people because I assume everybody who watches that show probably is well established in the game, and I am not. So, but I need to pick the brains of those two because I'm in Division 7 now and we're flying. We're flying up the Maltons on. Anyway, thank you to everybody for coming. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm going to be back later today, not with Footium content, but I will be back with more. I think I'll probably do a video about the guys that I bring in, or I'll just do it literally live. Again, me inviting myself onto Harry's channel to do stuff there. But if you have any questions about Footium, I can't answer them, but you can certainly leave comments below and I can try to get answers for you. Obviously, guys like Brains and Bachman and JG have a ton of the answers. And of course, go join Harry's Discord, become a member of his channel, support him in everything he does. So thank you everybody for coming. Good luck with all your Footium off-season situations, and please remember to go outside.